Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Before we start, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. The lights of society shimmered against the glass walls, reflecting the early evening pulse of Genoa City. The clinking of silverware and the muted chatter of investors set the stage for a conversation that was about to define everything Spectra had built. Billy leaned across the table, the calm in his voice cutting through the background noise. If we're doing this, we do it right. The launch has to be loud, and this new social platform in LA? It's the future. Sally's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. She had contacts there, so did Audra. The thought of fusing their energy with this bold expansion made her pulse quicken. Perfect, she said, smiling. Audra can connect us. She knows the scene. She's got that edge. Billy's smirk faltered. That edge, he repeated quietly, blew up 2 startups before breakfast. You really think bringing her in is smart? Sally's enthusiasm cooled. The air between them thickened, charged with unspoken history. Billy had always been the realist to her dreamer, the counterweight she both needed and resented. You're exaggerating, she said. Audra had setbacks, sure, but she's learned. People change. People don't change that fast, Billy shot back. And Jill won't like it. Does she even know you're considering Audra? Sally bristled. Jill trusts me to make hiring decisions. I don't need to clear every move through her. Billy's eyes softened, but his voice didn't. Sally, Jill's not just any investor, she's my mother. If you want this venture to stay funded, she needs transparency. Sally crossed her arms. You're saying this because you don't trust me. He sighed. No, I'm saying it because I don't want your first big move to blow up in your face. Her jaw tightened. You mean you don't want it to blow back on you? They stared at each other, the silence filling with old wounds and new ambitions. Somewhere between them lingered the ghost of what they used to be, a partnership of fire and friction. Then, as if summoned by their argument, Audra swept in, poised, confident, the scent of expensive ambition trailing behind her. Did someone mention my name? She teased. Because I'm ready to get started. Billy leaned back, exhaling sharply. Of course you are, he muttered. Sally forced a smile. We're still finalizing some details. Audra caught the tension instantly. Don't tell me I'm already causing drama. Billy gave her a pointed look. Let's just say your reputation precedes you. The remark didn't faze her. If anything, it thrilled her. Reputations are overrated. Results matter. And if you want this launch to dominate, you need someone who's not afraid to get her hands dirty. Billy's voice was low. Just make sure those hands don't drag us down with you. The table fell quiet again, the hum of society swallowing their words. Sally tried to steady her breathing. She was running the show. She had to remind herself of that, but Billy's warnings gnawed at the back of her mind. He was hiding something. Maybe it wasn't just about Audra. Maybe he was still thinking about Chancellor, about the choices that had split them once before, and deep down, she feared he might be right. Some ghosts don't stay buried. Across the coast, under the golden haze of an LA sunset, Claire sat across from Kyle in a cafe tucked between palm trees and promise. The air smelled like espresso and endings. You don't have to go back to Genoa City, she said softly. Kyle looked up confused. You're serious? Claire nodded. Meant a lot when you came here. When you saw Noah, it brought up things about my dad. I get it. But maybe you don't need to run back there. He reached for her hand, hesitant. Claire, I'm not giving up on us. Ever. Are you saying you don't want me to leave? Before she could answer, Holden appeared at the doorway, tall, relaxed, but carrying the quiet gravity of someone who had already caused too much trouble. Claire's hand slipped away from Kyle's. Do whatever you think is best, she said quickly. Stay. Go. I can't tell you what's right. Holden's smile was polite, but his eyes watched every flicker of emotion on her face. Kyle excused himself, promising he'd be in touch, and Claire moved to Holden's table. You didn't have to interrupt, she said lightly. He shrugged. You look like you needed an exit. She smiled faintly. You're a good friend. He tilted his head. Funny. You make me want to be one. Claire blushed. Don't start. I'm serious. You bring out the best in people. Even Kyle. Though, judging by his face, he's not sure what you want. Claire stared at her coffee. Neither am I. Holden leaned back, studying her. Maybe you should go back to Genoa City. Tie up what's left there. Her eyes narrowed. Change of heart? Or does this have something to do with Sienna? Holden's expression flickered, just enough for her to notice. What were you arguing about earlier? Is there a reason you don't want me here? He laughed quietly. Sienna and I are ancient history. Claire wasn't convinced. You're hiding something. Holden's tone shifted, serious now. You don't need to get tangled up in that mess. Whatever's between Sienna and me or Audra, it's not worth your time. She froze. Audra? What does she have to do with this? He hesitated. Nothing anymore. That's all in the past. But Claire knew better. The past had a way of catching up to everyone. Meanwhile, in a dark corner of the shadow room, Kyle pushed open the door to a pulse of bass and smoke. He spotted Sienna near the bar, her voice sharp as glass over the phone. Mitch, you were supposed to be home 2 days ago. Just call me back, please, she hissed before ending the call. Kyle approached slowly. You must be Sienna. She turned, wary but intrigued. Depends who's asking. Kyle Abbott. I'm looking for information on Holden Novak. Her brow arched. And why would you think I'd help you? Because he's getting too close to someone I care about. I'm trying to keep her safe. Sienna smirked. Claire Newman. Figures. Kyle's silence was answer enough. I've got nothing on Holden, she said. And even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Kyle exhaled, defeated. So they were together. Sienna shrugged. Briefly. But he's not the relationship type. Trust me. He glanced around, shifting gears. You ever worked with Audra Charles? That caught her attention. Audra, she repeated slowly. Now that's a name you shouldn't say out loud in this place. Kyle leaned in. Why? Sienna smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Let's just say she plays dirtier than Holden ever could. And if you're smart, you'll go back to Genoa City before she notices you're here. Kyle hesitated, then nodded. Maybe you're right. But as he turned to leave, Sienna's phone rang again. Her face changed. Mitch, she whispered. Then, covering the receiver, she looked at Kyle. Come back tonight. I'll have something you can use against her. In a luxury suite overlooking the city, Phyllis stood face to face with Cane. The tension between them was almost electric, half rivalry, half temptation. He accused her of stealing his AI program. She met his glare with a slow, dangerous smile. So what happens now? That's up to you, Cane replied, voice low. You going to try to distract me with another one of your games? Phyllis stepped closer, her silk robe barely tied. Games? Please. You're the one who thinks he's being hunted. Someone stole from me, Cane snapped. And you were the only one who had access.
He stepped close enough for her to feel his breath. Then focus. After he left, Phyllis watched the door close with a sly grin. Oh, Cane, she whispered. You still don't know who you're playing with. The moment he disappeared down the hall, she pulled out her phone. Meet me. It's urgent, she texted. Victor outside, Cane made his own call. Keep eyes on her, he ordered. I want to know every move she makes. Back at Society, Billy and Sally sat across from each other again, this time in silence. Audra filled the space with words, plans, projections, social strategies. Sally nodded, distracted. Billy said nothing. Finally, he spoke. Your role here is in flux, he told Audra. She laughed lightly. Everything's in flux. That's how progress works. Sally cut in quickly. We just need to clear your hiring with the new investor. That's all. Audra's smile tightened, but she nodded. I trust you'll make the right call. Billy's jaw flexed. Let's hope so. Across the country, in a quiet cafe, Claire pressed Holden again about the trouble he and Audra caused in LA. It's over, he said firmly. She's dangerous, Claire. Stay out of it. Claire's eyes narrowed. You're lying. Fine. Believe what you want. But Audra doesn't forgive. Or forget. Meanwhile, in the shadow room, Kyle returned as promised. Sienna was waiting, eyes darker now. You wanted dirt on Audra, she said. Here's your first clue, she didn't just ruin startups. She ruined people. Holden's just her latest toy. But she's working with someone bigger now. Who? Sienna hesitated, then whispered, someone in Genoa City. Someone who can burn the whole board down if she gets what she wants. Kyle frowned. You're talking about Sally Spectra, aren't you? Sienna didn't answer. She just smiled. In her suite, Phyllis sat across from Victor Newman. You texted me, he said, calm but sharp. Must be important. It is, Phyllis replied. Cane's coming for you. He thinks you stole his AI. Victor chuckled darkly. And did I? You tell me. He stood, looking out the window. Cane's not my problem. But if he makes himself one, he'll regret it. Phyllis leaned back, satisfied. Then we understand each other. Victor turned to her, eyes glinting. Do we? She smiled. We always do. In Genoa City, Sally stared at her reflection, wondering if she'd just tied her future to a ticking bomb. Billy's words echoed, she's a liability. In LA, Claire replayed Holden's evasions and wondered what he wasn't telling her. At the shadow room, Kyle watched Sienna vanish into the crowd, phone pressed to his ear, whispering, I think I found something. About Audra. And it leads back home. And in her suite, Phyllis smiled to herself as the phone buzzed again, Cane's number flashing. She let it ring twice before answering. Did you do it? He asked. Of course, she purred. But you might not like what I found. Outside her window, the city pulsed like a secret about to detonate. And somewhere in the middle of it all, every lie, every alliance, every stolen line of code began to converge, because in Genoa City and beyond, ambition always came with a price. And this time, that price was about to be paid in full. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to bell the notification icon.